Everybody, today I'm going to show you how to remove your upper fairing. Now, some people call it the front fairing, some people call it the top fairing or the cowl cover because the cowl is underneath. But either way, this is the top fairing or the upper fairing, and I am going to show you how to remove it. Now, to remove it, you're going to have to remove your middle fairing, your windscreen, this cover, your gauge cluster has to come out, and your mirrors have to be removed. Now, I have videos on how to remove your middle fairing, and I have a tutorial on how to remove your windscreen, and a tutorial on how to remove your mirrors. So please refer to those to get all the parts off. I'm not going to record all that again. What you need to remove your upper fairing is a tool to remove the push clips, 4mm hex socket, socket wrench, an extension, two 10mm wrenches, preferably a magnetic tool. Let's get started. Okay, now that we have everything removed, you can ignore this. This is my screen mount. I'm just letting it sit here. We need to take off the upper fairing. So to do that, there are some bolts from the inside, and then there's exposed bolts on the outside. We're going to start with the inside bolts. So let me change the camera here, and we can get to it. All right, so I do apologize here. This is very hard to see. I can't get a good angle with the camera. So this is the bar that your windscreen mount attaches to and everything for the cowl and the frame and your mirrors. And back behind here is a 4mm hex bolt that you're going to need an extension to remove. And I do apologize about the angle. There just isn't anything I can do about it. What I also recommend is having a magnetic tool handy to try and keep a hold of the bolt so you don't drop it. See, that makes it a lot easier. And then there's one on the other side. So let me change the camera. Same thing. Okay, and on each side of the bike, you have two more 4mm hex bolts. Go ahead and remove those. Okay, gonna switch sides. Okay, then you're gonna wanna get under the bike. And again, I'm gonna apologize about the angle. This is gonna be really hard, but I'm gonna move the camera. Okay, now on each side, and I'm having to use my phone here to show you, there's two of the push tabs on each side. You need to remove them. And I'm sorry I'm not gonna have better lighting or video for this, but dark conditions and bad angle. So remove the 4 clips, push the metals in, and repeat on the other side. Now for me, I have to remove my camera, and I have a tether, and then I also have an LED light that I have to remove. We need to unbolt a couple more bolts. So let's go back to the other side of the bike. Okay, so I'm zoomed out right now just to show you where we're looking at. But if you look, there's a bolt right there. It's a 10mm, and there is a nut on the other side. So don't lose the nut, and we got to remove this. Okay, now for this, you're going to want two 10mm wrenches is best. Unfortunately, I can't find my other 10mm wrench, go figure. So I'm going to try and get in here with a crescent wrench just to loosen bolt and nut. Just get the nut off. Then you're going to repeat the process on the other side, but I'll go ahead and get it from the other angle. So looking at the bike from this direction, We are after this nut. It'd be a lot easier with 2 wrenches or a smaller crescent wrench. Now, once the nut's off, it's a matter of sliding the whole assembly out. Now, when you pull it out, you're going to catch on things, and that's because everything is attached to the harness and the headlights. So what you need to do is you need to disconnect. Sorry, you should really do this before pulling it down, but I'm trying to get you an angle, and I don't know if you're going to get one. All right, so I'm going to try and describe this as best as possible. So here's your horn, in case you were wondering. You need, see, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Up front, right under the left headlight, there is a clamp. You need to release it. And all you do is bend it. The problem is trying to get around the wires, bend it up. Okay? And that will give you a little more room. Then you need to disconnect your headlights, which is this wire right here. And it goes down to this gray connector here. Now, because I don't feel like feeding the camera through. I'm sorry guys, I don't feel like dealing with all that right now. All you have to do is remove this clamp, or pop open this clamp right here that your headlight wire goes through. Remove the headlight connection, and this whole assembly slides out. Then you're done. Okay, but because I would remove it, but seriously, it's just this and the connector, and it'll just come right out. And that will get you your light fixture and this upper fairing, and then you can disassemble from there. I'm not going to go into that. So if you need to disassemble the headlights, there's a bunch of these clips around the edge. All you do is pop them up, pull the cover off, and you have access to your headlights. Now that that's done, we're going to go ahead and reassemble. Now, reassembly is just like disassembly. Let me zoom out. Okay, and there's these clips on the side that you need to line up. They slide in. Now, what I'm going to do, and you can't really see, but that harness piece that we bent, I'm going to have to bend back. So I'm just sliding this in closer so I can do that. And there's 2 slides, one on each side, that you just need to line up. And if you line up with the bolts that you removed in the top, you'll be able to get everything in alignment. Be careful you don't push the bolts out, and make sure everything is kind of lined up. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get these nuts on, just to hold it in place from falling out. Try not to drop the nuts. Uh-oh, I just dropped it. See if I can get my magnet tool. These are very handy. I highly recommend them. All right, let's try this again. Helps if you have small hands. I know you can't see anything. I apologize. All right, so both nuts are on. Now you're going to want to go up underneath and finish clamping down those wires. Okay, it's your harness. It's important, so don't forget about that. Now, what I recommend doing is starting from the bottom and working your way up on reassembly. It just helps line things up. Because if you do the top down, those little push pins on the bottom are a pain in the neck. So we're going to start with them. So let me readjust my camera. All right. So I'm zoomed out for reassembly just to give you a different perspective. But all we're going to do is get these pieces lined up. So these are supposed to be inset, and then get our push tab connectors in. Now, if you've seen my other videos, you should know this, but the way to reset these push tab connectors is you simply push them out. And then when you get them in place, you push the middles in. So lined up, push the middle in. And do the same thing with the back one. Lined up, push the middle in. This would be a pain in the neck could be a pain in the neck if you do the top down. So I do recommend bottom up. Now we got to do the other side. Okay, so same thing. This should be inset, just like this. And push the tab in. The same thing with the back one. Now my back one's going to be tough because I have an LED strip there. But just like that. Okay, so now I'm going to move up to the top so we can finish assembly. Okay, so now we want to put these bolts in. These will have the plastic washers. Take your 4mm socket, tighten them down. They don't need to be super tight, just snug. And do the same thing on the other side. Make sure to grab the ones with the plastic washers. The ones without the plastic washers go up top. Now you might have to push forward on the fairing to get it to line up. And tighten them down. Okay, now we're going to go up top. Okay, and don't forget to tighten these bolts down. We left them loose. And then we do the other side. Okay, now we go to the other side. So this is where the two bolts where you need the extension and without the plastic washers go. Now you can use the magnetic tool to assist if you want. And same thing with these. Don't make them too tight, just snug. And go to the other side. Same thing. There you go. That's how you remove and install your upper fairing with your headlights. Again, refer to my other videos for getting your windscreen, middle fairing, and all that put back on. What I do recommend is before you put all that back on, go ahead and clean this down. But otherwise, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. Stay safe. Keep the rubber side down.
Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I will try and answer everyone's questions as soon as possible. If there's anything you would like to see, any tips, tricks, techniques, anything at all motorcycle related, please let me know. I do these videos for you, so anything that you would like to see, I am more than happy to do it. If you like this video, please click that thumbs up button. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and click the bell to notify you whenever a new video drops. Thank you again. Ride safe and keep the rubber side down.